Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Pulse podcast. Today, we've got a really great episode. We've got Filip with Vidsmart joining us.
Hi, how are you?
I'm actually filling in for Anna this week, but I'm excited. I think we've got a really good conversation coming up and a lot of educational content for agents. So I'll start it off. Filip, tell us a little bit about Vidsmart and how you got into the videography and photography industry.
For sure. So I pretty much did photography since I was a little kid. I never planned on making it a business. It was always a hobby. But one thing led to the other, and it actually ended up being a business. So the way I started is I was actually focused on basketball growing up. So once I graduated, I kind of gave basketball a shot. I went overseas. My girlfriend at the time lived here, and she was actually the one who started Vidsmart. She started Vidsmart, and she wanted to make it like a social media video advertisement company. I don't think she liked it as much. So when she kind of started her own thing, I figured this might be a good opportunity to kind of start some, because I got injured, so I couldn't play basketball anymore. So I ended up thinking, what was my next step? And I was thinking definitely something with photography, because that was my hobby. And her mother, my mother-in-law, is a real estate agent in the area. She's been an agent for 30 years. And she was like, hey, let me give you a few vacant listings so you can practice your photography. And that's exactly what I did. I ended up falling in love with it. And here we are 3 years later, 4 years later, and it's actually a company.
Yeah,
for
That's
sure.
nice. It's good that you had an in with a relative being
Definitely,
an agent.
definitely. I mean, everything comes down to networking
Who
and
you
knowing
know.
people.
Yeah.
It's always like that. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so talking a little bit more about Vidsmart, what are kind of the products and services that you offer, and what would you say is kind of the best products that you bring to the table, and what you add to the home selling transaction?
Definitely. I mean, marketing of the home, marketing in general.
Yeah.
Whatever the product is one of the most important factors. So the same goes for real estate. You want to show your property in the best possible light, right? So we offer pretty much full range of products: pictures, videos, aerial shots, 3D tours, floor plans, social media content, pretty much anything you can think of, we offer. So of course, it depends on the property. If you have a little property, you want to do one thing. If you have a high-end property, you might want to do a different thing. So yeah, that's pretty much about a good amount of services that we offer that I just spoke about.
Yeah. So I heard you mention a little bit about 3D photography and those 3D tours.
For sure.
I know those have become pretty popular in the most recent years, and you actually have the camera with you right
definitely.
here.
Yeah, the camera's right here. So this is the camera that we use. It's called the Matterport. I feel like this is pretty much the industry standard at this point. But the way that camera, there's different types of cameras. There's small 360 cameras that work just fine. There are bigger cameras like this that also work just fine. But pretty much it just enables the buyer to see every part of the home, like anything.
Yeah.
They want to see it, the little grout in the corner. They can zoom in and see that. They can see the layout of the home. They can see the floor plan of the home. It just helps the buyer kind of visualize the home before they get in it.
Yeah.
I had agents so many times tell me that they had people out of state buying sight unseen thanks to Matterport or any virtual tour, pretty much.
Yeah, and I feel like especially in Florida, where you have a lot of people moving down here without even looking in the house.
Exactly.
Do you feel like the 3D tours have helped expedite the process of selling a home for a lot of these agents?
Definitely. I mean, some agents don't like it, and that's fair. Maybe they want to focus on video and other things. But in my opinion, it can only be helpful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Some agents say, oh, it's hard to use. I don't really feel like it's hard to use. You know what I mean? If you want to give yourself the best chance to sell a property, adding a 3D tour can only be helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just when you have only pictures and you're looking at the pictures online, you can't really always tell, okay, I know exactly where each room is. Like, you kind of get
flow of the house.
Exactly. You get a way better idea when you have a virtual tour. It starts at the front door, so like you would walk into the house, and that's where the 3D tour starts. So you already know, okay, this is where I get in, this is what's there, this is what's there, this is what's there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a really cool technology for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I'll just 3D tour houses for fun online just to see a big mansion.
You can see all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So keeping on the technology conversation, drones as well. Those
Definitely.
have really gotten popular in the past 10 years.
100%.
How would you say that improves the photography experience?
Well, in many different ways. So one of the most obvious ways is you can see what's around the property, right? Like, you can't really tell that with a shot of the front. You can, so it's definitely going to enable you to see what's around. For example, if you have a lake, perfect time to do a drone.
Yeah.
Show the lake in the back. Or if, let's say, you're a mile or two away from the coast, perfect opportunity to do a drone. You want to tell people, hey, this property is so close to the bay, there's no better way to do that. And like you said, 15, 20 years ago, people had to book helicopters to do the same things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper now to get those type of shots.
Definitely.
Are there any other technologies, do you feel like, either now or maybe in the future, that could really impact and disrupt the industry? Is there anything you can think of?
I can't really think of anything when it comes to like the process of capturing the homes. I mean, everybody's talking about AI right now and how that's going to have an impact. And I agree, it will have an impact. AI editing is going to get better. A lot of different processes, I guess, behind the scene are going to get much easier. But when it comes to showcasing higher end properties in the best possible light, I don't think that's going to be so easily replaced by an AI.
Yeah,
you still have
definitely.
to go there. You have to capture the properties. Best example, on one end you have a 3D tour. On another hand, you have a video. One can't really replicate the other. Like, if you want to make a video of a high-end home, you want to bring out emotion from a person that's going to be looking at that video, 3D tour can't really do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sure, AI might help us with editing footage and recommending good songs, but as of right now, next 5 to 10 years, I don't think it's going to, something crazy is going to come up that's going to really have an impact on us as media companies.
Okay. I'm glad you brought up AI, because everybody's talking about that now.
Everybody's talking about it, exactly.
So, obviously a big part of photography, and especially home photography, is lighting, angles, all those different aspects. What would you say is like the best time of day to, get the best light, either inside or outside? Are there different times that you prefer?
So for 80% of the properties that we do, it's not really going to make a big difference about what time of the day we choose to shoot it.
Yeah.
However, for that top 20% of the properties that are high end, that you really need the best possible product, you're going to want to shoot multiple times a day. You're going to want to shoot throughout the day. You're going to want to shoot during the sunset. If you're shooting the front of the home, you don't really want the sun right behind the home coming right at the camera, So it's going to depend on the property. But usually on a higher end properties, we're definitely going to go back during the nighttime to get some night shots and twilight shots. And as long as you have, and like during those times, the way the sun hits through the windows, you always have those contrast areas that are good highlights. It just creates it creates that feeling when people are looking at it. Exactly. Oh, look how this area looks so nice during the sunset and stuff. It's just things like that. So,
I know golden hour. Everybody loves gold. That's when I like to take my selfies. That's when everybody
100%.
puts their photos on Instagram. Makes everything look better.
Exactly. Speaking of that, you asked me last question was what's becoming more popular. So one of the things that's becoming really popular and that I started noticing last year or so is what we call day to night transitions. So during the video, you're going to showcase the same area of a home during the day, and then you're going to showcase the same area of the home during the night. So you're going to kind of make a transition to allow the potential buyer to see, okay, because home looks completely different in the night than it does during the day. So you just kind of want to showcase different areas in the different times of day. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, you want to give that buyer the full
Exactly,
experience.
the full experience,
Yeah.
100%.
So quick question.
Yes.
Most of the people that hire you and hire your business, are they the actual agents? Yes. Or are they the homeowners?
No, they're 90, I would say 98% of the time it's agents.
The vast majority.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have somebody with an Airbnb or somebody for sale by owner who has a realtor friend.
Okay.
Which, if you have a realtor friend, why are you doing for sale by owner? Anyways, they ask the realtor, do you know somebody that can do the pictures? They recommend us. We go and do the work. Those are usually not the repeat clients.
Yeah.
But majority of our business is definitely realtors.
Okay.
For sure.
And do you have any tips or tricks that an agent could do before you even step foot in the house to kind of prepare the area?
Definitely. I mean, you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer. You're gonna walk into the house. You want that house to look the best that it can look, right? You're not gonna have stuff on the counters. You're not gonna have clothes on the ground. I mean, those seem like a very common sense things, but you wouldn't believe some of the stuff we see. You know, like we show up, the seller could care less about the house, the way house looks. And then we have to call an agent, say, hey, this property is not ready. We have to come back, etc., etc. Some of the things that they can do: move all the stuff off the counters, make sure that the property is as clean as it can be. One of the really important things is clean windows. I mean, it's very important that we have those window views, especially in Florida. There are lakes. There's areas that you want to see behind the home. And if the windows are not clean, it's going to make it much harder for us to show that. So toilet seats down, usually, unless the lights are very, very yellow, we're going to turn on all the lights in the house to kind of create those shadows next to the lamps and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the things I can think of. But open everything up, make it as bright as possible. Less is better. If you have a ton of different machines on the counter, try to get rid of some. One coffee maker is not going to be a big deal, but if you have a coffee maker and a toaster and a crock pot and all these things, it's going to kind of make the place look crowded. So the less is better. That's always what I tell my agents.
Simpler the better.
For sure.
So, nowadays, everybody's got a camera, right? The smartphones, even DSLRs are pretty cheap. There's a lot of agents that tried to do it, or homeowners that tried to take those pictures on their own. Why would you say that a professional photographer and all the services you provide are really necessary to making the transaction faster, finding more buyers?
Almost all the time, the product that we provide is going to be much, much better than something an agent can do. Taking pictures with a smartphone is okay. You can do that. However, there is much, much more that you could do to help you improve your media, your marketing material.
Yeah.
Like, once we take shots, they go through a lot of editing, a lot of touch-ups, making sure that everything looks good. And it's just going to create a much more pleasing product at the end of the day. And that's not the only thing. Successful agents, they don't have time to go and take their listings. And a lot of the times I see agents that are just starting out trying to kind of save some money because they maybe get 1 or 2 listings a month. They're not sure if they're going to have a marketing budget. But at the end of the day, it always comes down to having good marketing, because once you realize that marketing is what literally helps you sell your home,
Yeah.
then you're not thinking twice about investing some extra money into marketing. You just know that's what needs to be done
Yeah.
in order to sell a home. So a lot of agents that are just starting out don't really understand that fully. But yeah, I mean, if you want to showcase your property in the best possible light, definitely hire a professional.
Yeah, I mean, marketing is it's not a luxury; it's a
Yeah.
necessity for growth,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And especially if an agent's going to be sending out postcards with saying, "I just sold this home," they're going to want to make sure that home looks as perfect as
100%.
possible.
And another thing that I always tell my agents, if you are serious about being an agent for the next 5-10 years, you want to create some sort of some sort of a brand, I would say. Like when people go online, you tell somebody that you're a realtor and you want them to work with you. They're going to go online and they're going to look at your last 5 listings. And if all of those properties have phone pictures and you are trying to put yourself in the best chance to sell your home, why would you go to an agent that doesn't want to invest money into their marketing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's
First impression, right?
First
Yeah.
impression, and you can only help yourself if you have a marketing budget. Because imagine you do beautiful pictures, videos, and Matterport for all of your listings. Okay, instead of $150 or $200, you spend $500 on a full package. Let's just say for a smaller property, right? And you do that for every one of your properties. Imagine how consistent of a brand you're building, where every single one of your properties has a virtual tour, every single one of your properties has top of the line pictures. You are just giving yourself the best chance to be successful.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty much what it comes down to, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely great advice for
Yeah.
agents. The investment is necessary.
Of course. Everybody's afraid in the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, for example, when I first started, I was editing all of my work. And I was thinking, like, why would I pay somebody else to edit when I can edit everything myself? And I just came to a realization, the more work I have, the more stuff I have to do, it's just the only way that I can grow is to hire somebody to edit my work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same thing goes with an agent, Don't be afraid to take that leap, because if I was to do this again, I would start by having an editor. I wouldn't even think twice that I can do it myself.
Yeah.
The return is much bigger and better if you put your trust into somebody who does this professionally than trying to do it on your own. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely. It takes
yeah.
a short-term investment up
100%.
front, but it's worth it in the long run.
100%.
Yeah, I have one more question
For sure.
about features of the house.
Mhm.
Would you say there is one or a couple most important features that you really try to focus and highlight?
Every home is going to be different. Every home, some homes are going to have unbelievable ceilings. Those recessed ceilings with different LED lights. Some properties are going to have unbelievable countertops. Some properties are going to have some unique feature outside. It all depends from the property to property. But usually it's the outside area, pool area, any updates that are done to the home. If the home is being sold furnished, then definitely the way the furniture looks. I mean, it's pretty much everything, you know? And of course, every home that has those extra features. Some higher end homes might have a sauna or an elevator.
Like an outdoor kitchen by the pool, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are all the things that you want to kind of showcase when you're advertising a property like that.
Okay.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you really try to, when you come into a home, you understand what are the highlights of this house. What do I need
Exactly.
to
For example, when people book with us online, they have to go through a little questionnaire that's going to ask them, hey, if they choose a video package, we're going to ask them, hey, what are the most important parts of this home? Is there anything you'd like to highlight? Is there something unique about this property? So us going in are already going to kind of have an idea about the parts that agents wants us to highlight.
Yeah.
If we have a different idea when we show up, if we say, hey, this may be a really cool thing to highlight, we're gonna tell an agent, we're gonna talk to them, but yeah, usually we try to make it as easy as possible for us to come and do the work.
Yeah, as quick as possible.
Exactly,
Get quality
for sure.
pictures. Yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I think that's a great idea where you can come in and already be educated on
Exactly.
the best parts of the house.
It's extremely important, especially when we're shooting $3, $4, $5, $10 million homes. You kind of have to know what's there.
Yeah, because they're all special in different ways. Yeah.
One of the homes that I recently did, I think it just got sold for $3.5 million. It was in Lakewood Ranch. I actually went to the property day before with an agent. Just to kind of get the best idea, just so I can kind of think about all the different ways that I can shoot that property, all the different features. So yeah, I mean, it's all about planning and knowing what you're getting yourself into, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that the closer that you work with an agent, like for that example, you said you went the day before, do you think that leads to a better outcome when you and the agent are really on the same page and understand everything?
It's extremely important for an agent to have a good relationship with their photographer. A lot of the times, different agents like different things. You know, you need to make sure that he understands what you want and that you understand what he wants. Literally, you know what I mean? So it's definitely helpful. You know, especially when you have an agent that's going to prepare everything for you, make sure everything's staged, make sure that everything is just the way that it needs to be before we show up. Of course, I mean, the closer you. Sometimes you're going to show up to a property and you have no idea about the way the property looks. Some agents maybe don't give you heads up. It's okay. However, it's going to be much better if agent communicates with you. You know, we need this, we need that. Hey, and a lot of the agents do. I mean, 70% of the agents always communicate with us, say, hey, property is vacant, hey, this, hey, that. They have to give you some sort of info before you get there. So, yeah, the closer the relationship, the better, for sure.
That's great advice for all the agents listening at home. You know, definitely keep a good relationship with your photographer, as we can tell by what Filip's explained here.
For sure.
You know, at this point, I'm going to give you a chance to plug your business. I know it's vidsmart.net, right?
Vidsmart.net.
And then any social medias that the agents can find you at?
Vidsmart Photo on Instagram, Vidsmart Photo on Facebook, and vidsmart.net is our website. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, I mean, if you need any help, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help. Yeah. And that's it.
Before we wrap up, I've got one more little surprise for you. We did a little digging about your past and, like you said, what you did when you were growing up.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you want to play a little bit or just shoot around for our TikTok.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's make a TikTok.
If you want to see me and Filip play a little basketball, check out RSP USA on TikTok.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.